Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, as we wait on 7.2.5, Blizz whets our appetite for Tomb of Sargeras. WoW goes mobile, and so much more. As Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you, and of course my shot didn't come up right. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. From the Battlenet News broadcast bunker in Minneapolis, Minnesota, today is May 30th, 2017, and it's now 10:19 in the PM, even with technical difficulties, right on time. As always, thanks for joining us for Around the Blizzard Universe. My name is Pat Crane, your host of the show, and as always, the players are here. Let's go to our man from Line of Sight Gaming. It is Tattva. Hey, buddy.
Me?
Nice to see you as always.
Likewise, always.
And from, I'm going to actually say he's from the Gatherin Storm tournament. He is the head mind behind it. I don't know. It sounds good at the time. It's Shark!
I did a thing!
You did a thing!
I did a thing, and now I have a title.
Yeah!
I have enormous news, Pat.
Uh-oh.
Humongous.
Well, that's
gigantorous news.
That's good. About the tournament?
It's not quite about the tournament. We'll get to that.
Well, then I don't want to hear it. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, I'll wait. I can wait until you ask me what happened to me in game.
Well, I mean,
in the world of gaming. But
I'm glad that you're here, both of you guys. I'm glad that the Twitch folks are here, and I'm glad that everybody out there is now here. So Shark, tell us your news. What's your big news? What's your big news?
This past week,
yeah,
in an emissary chest, dropped the best in slot Frost Mage ring for my Frost Mage.
I'll do that. I'll give you a big applause for that. That's nice.
It's pretty great. And then I freaked out in guild chat and was screaming lots of caps. I know that's not supposed to be allowed, but deal.
Well,
and and somebody said, "See, Shark, isn't art legendaries fun?" And I just wrote no, and then didn't speak in guild chat since.
Wow.
But it was big news. It
got
my DPS up a significant amount. I'm still trying to work. Not parsing well. I think a lot of it has to do with my weapon. But yeah, I was super excited about that. Now I just need the gloves.
I was playing today with Nevar and Sin and some other folks, and those guys were talking, and they were saying, "Oh, remember when we got legendaries? When legendaries were a thing that could drop for us?" Yeah, I remember that too. Those were the old days.
I don't feel bad for them at all.
No.
There's just another reason why it's a broken system. Just another reason.
What rewards you for the more you play?
Yeah. But then there's
you have to work for your gear? Oh,
although,
darn it.
To be fair, I haven't gotten a legendary in quite some time, and I actually switched over to bear loot spec just so that I could try to get something there, and I haven't seen any bear legendary yet. So
have you been doing any activities that can drop legendaries?
I've been doing all sorts of different activities. Today I ran a bunch of mythics, so that was nice. And raiding and stuff like that, and whatever.
In the immortal words of Hanzi, you got to play the game, Shark.
In the immortal words of Hanzo, I need healing.
I need healing.
I need healing.
Oh boy.
Before we
Pat.
Before we get to the Gathering Storm stuff, Shark, let's talk to Tattva real quick. See what's going on in your world. What's going on with you, bud?
I don't know. When was the last time I was here? Oh, I dinged. since the last time I was on the show.
You
So
dinged
there's that.
what?
You hit a level 115 or 111.
No, I dinged 35.
Oh,
I'm an
oh,
old
that's
man
right.
now.
Happy birthday to you. We can do that now because now it's free.
Can we
wasn't.
sing the whole
It
song?
wasn't a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago we couldn't have done that, but now we can sing the whole damn thing. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm ancient.
Oh.
Ancient.
I thought I was older than you, and I'm not.
But you do have the full beard, and he's still kind of sporting the baby.
I've got the
baby
full
face.
beard, but he's got the full head of hair. So
Yeah.
that's why he wins.
I keep shaving it off. Like I keep doing it. I keep pulling off the 10-year-old look. I don't know.
I
No,
like the
that's-
5 o'clock shadow though.
Yeah,
It's
that's nice.
Rugged.
That's
rugged.
nice. Hey,
It's
everybody,
good.
go to the video, check out Tattva's face, and see if you like it with the 5 o'clock shadow.
I would be surprised to
show.
find people
Tweet
that do not
LOS
like.
_gaming and tell them how you like that look.
Beard
of
or no
his.
beard.
Beard or no
But anyways-
beard or half beard.
Besides the birthday, in-game, convert to mythic, got
Yep.
botanist. That's cool. So we're 7 out of 10 mythic
Hey.
there.
Congratulations.
So we're kind of getting into the final stretch. So Star Augur, Elisand, and Gul'dan left. So we'll see what we can do before Tomb launches. But yeah, some rough fights ahead.
Well, and
We got a
it's
couple weeks at least.
it's definitely one of those things where I think a lot of people just kind of feel that this current tier is kind of over in a lot of respects, and so I think that a lot of people are kind of like, oh, this raid tier's over. I'm gonna go do some other stuff. We've got some great stories of bored people later. We've got great stories of a bunch of people that are bored and looking for stuff to do that is just of their own creation, and it's great. So that's coming up a little bit. So yeah, that's cool though. Botanist is down. You got a few left, and the team's still going strong. Still doing okay.
It's like
Still,
yeah.
I mean, I know you were
attendance
having
monsters,
issues
beasts.
before, but
Yeah, it's just kind of it's ongoing. We're having to recruit, but
You
yeah, the
keep
team's a lot.
denying my application, Todd.
something happened to my Skype. That's not cool. Oh man.
He'll give it to you. He's not scared. He's not
No, I
scared.
love it.
All right,
I love it.
so
I wish you guys the best. I'm not quite there.
so you guys just hiccuped on my end, so I missed all that. But don't worry about it. I kind of caught it.
It was just Tattva telling me how bad I am and
Yeah.
why I
He
can't
just needs
ever
to die less. Just die less.
die.
It's all good.
Whatever.
That-
I've got Pridas.
That's tough to do, man. He's known for dying,
I am.
I know it's
It's
kind
kinda-
of his thing. You
It's
don't want to
true.
let it. You don't want to let that go.
Yeah,
And that's always my advice for my raid team too. I'm like, guys, it is physically impossible for us to not kill the boss if we're all alive at the end of the fight. Like,
and you always have to have somebody to blame. So really, if you're looking for a scapegoat or something like that, Shark's been the scapegoat for years.
that's true.
He knows that
Yes.
deal for sure.
And now
And-
balancing it's that with being a raid leader, and people are like, well, I want to pick on you, but I don't want to be cut from the roster.
Right. And now I'm going to tell people out there, if you hear coughing, it's just me. I will try to edit out really disruptive things from the show. But if you hear it, I apologize. I'm going to apologize in advance. Apparently, I got a preview of the Concrud, and it is not fun. It is really not fun. I was out sick for I was just out for days. It was not good.
Yeah.
Um,
Real quick, while we're
Yeah.
talking about raid teams, I'm sorry, I just
go
want
ahead.
to plug real quick. Asparagus Initiative has been doing really, really good. We
Good.
got all the way to Gul'dan this week. Got some pulls on him, Gul'dan Heroic. So
Yeah.
we're almost in 4 weeks. We're almost ahead of the curve
hey,
of raiding together. So I mean, our
Congrats.
weapons. A lot of us are out gearing the content a little bit, but
sure.
we're coming together as a team, and it's been really, really great. And we are still looking for players, specifically range DPS, and even more specifically range DPS with a heal off spec. So listeners out there, hit me up on Twitter. Let's get you
Yep,
in the Discord.
Sharku
and get you raiding on
_CTR
Thursday.
for his Twitter, so you can
That's
hit
it.
him up over there. So cool. And then we also have to talk about a couple of things before we talk about more things. And one of them is the Gathering Storm tournament. Shark, what's going on with the Gathering Storm tournament?
Everyone has, as of this moment, if you're listening live, 32 minutes to sign up for the Gathering Storm tournament, and then we're going to close registration on that. So last chance. We still got a few spots open to maintain 4 rounds of the tournament. So that's, if you're interested in playing and you're listening live right now, go do that, gatheringstormtournament.com. But that is happening. It was originally going to be Saturday and Sunday, but we didn't have as many people as I thought we were going to. So we're just going to do it on Sunday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. We'll be having some tournaments. The first 2 rounds, I'm going to be encouraging teams to stream their own games if they want to, with a little bit of a delay to discourage cheating and stuff like that. And pay attention to the Gathering Storm Twitter, which is at GS Tournament. That will have some of the streams if you guys are interested in watching.
Cool.
And then that night, starting around 8 p.m., we'll have 2 semifinal matches that will be cast. I don't know exactly who's casting them yet, but some of the guys from the Core podcast, Scott Johnson, John Jagger, Bo Schwartz, possibly maybe Gizmo and some of the guys from Lords of the Storm, maybe myself, depending on how far my team gets. And then Kyle Ferguson will be casting the finals that will begin around 10 o'clock Eastern. You will get all of that information through the Twitter page. That's at GS Tournament. So make sure you follow that. If you're interested in watching. Going to be a lot of cool loot. I already talked to Pat about some loot that we're getting from here. Lords of the Storm's going to give some loot. Frog Pants giving some loot.
Some swag.
Lots of stuff on the line, including my beard. If CTR team doesn't win, then...
Which is why he's growing it out.
My beard and hair are gonzo.
Yep.
So.
Yes. Sounds good.
It'll be fun.
Right. It will be. You know what else will be fun? And that is, Tattva, get ready with my echo. The CTR party.
Party.
And the Kickstarter is now live, and I'm very happy to say that we already have over 50 backers, and we've raised over $6,800, which means that we're more than halfway there. So thank you guys, everybody that's supported already. This is for you guys. This is big applause. And if you want to participate in the Kickstarter, you can go to convertterade.com/party.
Party.
There you go. And we have some really cool gear this year. We have a few really cool shirt designs just for Convert to Raid guildies and listeners, and a lot of different rewards. We've reached out to more artists than we ever have before. And I kind of alluded to it last week about one thing that everybody might want. And I think everybody might want this. It's a 15-plus page adult-style coloring book featuring your favorite community artists like Fabelina, Scott Johnson, Zoe Zazu, and a lot more. So make sure to check out the convertterade.com/party.
Party.
There you go.
Party.
You guys really need to coordinate better.
Hey, I'm on point. I'm ready.
And
Shark's
you know,
a little delayed.
it goes for another while yet, and I know that we've got a lot of different live streams coming up to promote it, and we're going to be doing giveaways with the live streams, and we're going to be doing some other things as well. So keep an eye out on the Convert to Raid Twitch page, or on Convert to Raid Twitch, my Twitch. Twitter, my Twitter, everybody's Twitter.
Yeah, I've already been
the guild.
I've already been told by my girlfriend, Hannah, has told me that the priority for whatever the tier, getting the tier for the coloring book, we have to pay that before we pay our car payment this month. Like that's,
wow.
It's sure. It's
and
going up.
And the cool thing is, if you want to get more than one, you can, because if you get into the you have to, I think what it is everybody who's in the $25 or more tiers will automatically be able to add on more stuff. And so we'll have like a little menu, a little a la carte
get a
menu.
shirt and a coloring book.
And notable too, the shirts come in both men's and women's styles for all the different designs. So yeah.
So I can get a shirt that will accent my womanly figure.
That's right. You totally could. So once again, go to converttoday.com/party for more.
Party.
There we go.
So my favorite thing that just happened is that a guy named Philip J. Fry in the Twitch chat just said, "Shut up and take my money."
Yeah,
So,
and it's really
Future
cool,
Audible
and
reference.
we've had such good response. I mean, when it was funny because we were brainstorming all these things months ago, right? And we really wanted to get ahead of everything and talk to these artists and make sure that we were getting them on board for badges and stuff like that and blah 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 blah. And I looked over, and I was kind of, just kind of thinking about all the different things that we had out there, and I was like, what about a coloring book? Would that be something that, and like everybody just went nuts. Everybody went nuts. So it's really cool, and I'm really happy about that stuff. And if you guys don't know about the CTR party,
Party.
Thank you.
Party.
This happens on the Friday night of BlizzCon. So this year I think that's November 4th. And we're going to be going from 8 p.m. to midnight. There's going to be a live stream for those guys that don't go to Anaheim, so you don't have to miss out on anything, and you can still see Shark dance, which
defending my title 2 years in a row,
which he's won awards for. Yep,
I have apparently.
He's won competitions. So make sure to check it out. Okay, let's move on to the show part of the show. It's time for the news. Okay, so. Last week we talked about how Serenity kind of went by the wayside and blew up recently, and they're not going to be rating under Serenity, at least, moving forward. And then there was a tweet from the raid leader of Invective, and he said, "We're making a run at you," and he like put Method in there and tagged Method and all these world first raid teams. And I was gonna just like off of that, I mean, just like I don't know, my first reaction was to kind of like go, are you sure you're gonna make a run at world first just by saying you're gonna make a run at world first,
Right.
And I don't want to make I like the attitude. I do. Because if you're gonna make a run, you might as well just state it, right? And then I saw that Icy Veins did an interview with these guys, and it's actually, he was like, well, we're not expecting to be world first on this tier. I mean, we're behind on all the stuff, on our weapons and all that kind of stuff. These guys came over from WildStar initially, so a bunch of the players are coming over from WildStar because it's quote unquote dying. We haven't heard that in WoW ever.
Yeah, they called it the WoW killer WildStar.
Yeah. So
like every time they referred to it in their post, they call it the WoW killer WildStar.
So they think they can make a run at it, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's cool. And at least in their interview the guy seemed really nice, and well, not nice, but he seemed like he was realistic.
I say all power to him. I mean, get to it, get to work. They came out, that post was, hey, we have goals and ambitions and we're doing this thing and we're doing it right. Like my favorite parts of it, he's like, we're not gonna, I think he said, we're not settling for world 10 to 20 BS. US first is not world first in all caps. Like he's like, we're going to go for it and we're going to go for it hard and it's going to happen eventually. We're going to get up there. So awesome. Great. I'm 100% behind you. Go for it. I'd love to see an NA team take world first. I'd love to see that.
Sure.
Might even get me into the race again. I'd be all excited.
I just think the ego to like go after it on Twitter and say, okay, here's what's going on. We're coming after you, Method.
Yeah, they're Babe Ruthing this thing. They're calling their shot. Let's do this.
We'll see if they're Babe Ruthing or if they're just, swinging at something. I don't know.
I was going to make a political joke, and I refrained.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Crab and I were actually
looking.
Crab and I were actually talking about these guys and looking at their armory and stuff.
Yep.
I think they started almost like back in March, but I mean, they did transfer over from WildStar, and back in March, hit 110, went through, started going pretty hardcore and stuff. And then I think February and March is when they first killed Scorp. And then May, they are 10 out of 10 Mythic. So they've killed Gul'dan on Mythic already.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's a couple months. And being as far behind as they are, I mean, that does say something for the group that they've put together.
Yep.
The roster changed dramatically from Scorp to Gul'dan. But, I mean, they're recruiting hard.
They are.
And who knows if they're putting it out there just saying, hey, we're going to basically try to pull off the European raid style of you need to get work off, and we're raiding nonstop besides sleep and some eating breaks, like it requires that schedule. And so if they're going to go that way,
it does.
I mean, at least being that much up front and saying, hey, if you want to apply, if you're serious about this, I mean, that's probably like their biggest criteria. I think
he said save up sick days. You need 2 weeks off every tier.
And so, I mean, that's probably like the big decider for them. If you can't do that, they don't.
Right.
It doesn't matter how good you are. They're not interested. Simple as that.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see what they do. So
it will be. And I know that. So I was like, okay, what does invective really? I mean, what does that mean to you guys? And blah blah blah. And what it just kind of comes down to is my interpretation of it is like rough language. And I heard somebody who's talked with the guy, and he said he's a little intense. Like the guildmaster son something. He's a little intense. He's a little.
Isn't it Moon something? Well, Sky Moon.
Sky Moon. Sky, that's who it is. So he's a little intense. But I mean, if you're gonna go for world first, I think having a guildmaster that's a little intense is probably okay.
Once again, roughly quoting from his thing, he said, "If you suck, that means you suck, and you're going to get called back or called out." And he said, "Even if you're the guildmaster's wife."
There you go. So
he's not pulling any punches. I love it.
I'm just glad that somebody has taken up the torch and said, you know what, we're going to go for it. And I will just say, Serenity also said this. Serenity also said this, and then after a year, they went, it's okay. Yeah. So just throwing it out there. Okay. Another thing to throw out there at you guys. There was a little discussion on the forums about professionalism of the different CMs, the community managers out there. And this one in particular was about Ornyx. And I don't know if you guys necessarily read all of this stuff, but essentially what it came down to is a guy was talking about how the artifact power or is it artifact knowledge or artifact power?
Mm-hmm. It depends. Artifact power is what it says.
That's power is what you're farming.
Right. And so about how people now can look on your thing and see how much artifact power you've got, right?
Mm-hmm.
On your armory. And he was like, well, that's like shaming people for not being able to play all day or whatever.
Right.
And it got into kind of a heated debate, right, Tattva? It was...
Well, like there's a lot of people involved in it, but like
sure.
the initial statement was like from the player just being like, hey, it's like all we have to do is farm artifact power. That's all we're doing nonstop. What else is there to do in Legion? Like that was like kind of the initial statement that got it started. And of course people started talking about it. And then Onyx responded to his initial statement just saying, I assume you're trying to make a joke about content because looking at your armory, it appears you've only engaged in about 25% of Legion. So it was just a snarky way to say, hey, what else is there to do? Well, there's 75% of other stuff to do.
It was a bada bing. It was a
little jab.
I think it was like a couple of punches because he kind of threw everything back in his face a little bit. and blah, blah, blah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of grooving it. I like that response.
I don't mind it. Somebody even said they defended him, and they said if it was Jeff Kaplan, he would have said, "Get geared and learn to play."
Yeah,
I like it. I don't mind.
I like snark.
That's what Ghostcrawler used to do too. I think this guy is offended because I think he thought it was a genuine question. He wasn't trolling.
Is he the one that's offended, or is it the community that got all riled up behind him?
It was the guy that got offended, I think, a little bit, and called him out on it. And he said, well, you know what? Hey, I'm a community manager. I'm not customer service. Customer service is a very different motivation for what they do. For us, we are like players that are trying to reach out to the community. So, I mean, come on. And we get to sit in the dev meetings from time to time and talk to those guys. That's about the only, those that's our job. So our job is outreach. Our job is not being nice all the time.
And maybe it was. Go ahead.
I mean, it just is an interesting thing, just as far as like what is there to do in the game, because like most people will like settle in to what they're used to and comfortable with. Like if you're a raider, you raid. Yeah. Like if you have to grind some AP, you'll farm some Mythic Plus dungeons or do the world quests or whatever, or if you PvP, that's what you're doing. Or if you like to make gold, you're sitting in front of the auction house in the mailbox, just grinding away, whatever it is you do, like that's just kind of what you just keep doing over and over again. Well, it's what you enjoy about the game, but
it's kind of like I don't do pet battles.
Exactly.
I don't do pet battles.
The thing is, it's so extremely robust, and they're continuing to push those things, like with the pet battle dungeon, like and all the other like weird little stuff that they implement into the game that's not necessarily part of progression or anything like that, like the achievement system, all these other things that you can do. It's just, where do you find joy in the game? And it's as simple as that. If you're playing it, if you enjoy it, and if you're not enjoying it, if you get bored with like Nightmare, Nightold being out for 5 months.
If you get bored with Emerald Nightmare, that's understandable at this point. So
yeah, it's just like pick what you play. The game is so huge, and that's why I think that's a big part, like especially with WildStar being a WoW killer and all that kind of stuff, is new MMOs can't replicate that. Like WoW is so extremely deep. Like there's so much to do, and there's not everyone does it, obviously, but it's just hard to compete with how much time they've put into this game and just the new things that they've thought of and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting.
There are a lot of things that they put in this game, though, and when you look at it, there is so much to do. And it's not going to hit everybody. It's not going to hit, and they know that, because how could it hit everybody with all the stuff that they have in there? So
and it just goes to kind of address, like Tattva was saying, what there is, what you consider content. I think that's kind of what the underlying, what the frustration maybe was about here. First of all, I love this guy. Like, it reminds me of the Wendy's Twitter. I don't know if you guys, whoever's in charge of the Wendy's restaurant chain Twitter, where like people will be like, hey, Wendy's, I'm at McDonald's, what should I order? And they'll be like, an Uber to take you to Wendy's. Like, it's just really snarky and mean or whatever. But it's one of those things where I think that's fine. I don't think there's a problem. It wasn't customer service. It was whatever. However, I don't think that's the real problem that people are upset about. What they're upset about is, hey, we feel like that's a valid complaint, that there's not content right now.
Oh, sure. But
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like this is the wrong expansion to bring that up. In the past 2, maybe 3 or 4 or all expansions, then maybe, yeah. Well, especially near the end. But we've got a brand new tier coming out very soon. We've had stuff to do the entire time. I've never felt bored. And I've had to take breaks and whatever. But like Tattva was saying, the problem is a lot of these players are, I'm a raider, I'm going to raid. Period. Right. That's what I'm going to do. And right now for raiders, if you've cleared the content, if you've cleared Mythic or even Heroic and you're just not stepping into Mythic and you're done, quote unquote, then yeah, it's farming AP and maybe some Mythic Plus, and that is really monotonous. So get 3 people together and go do some arenas.
Yeah. Go do some
do
PvP.
some battlegrounds. Do
That's
some. Right. There's so many. Do something. That's my advice. My sage advice for everyone. Do something else. Try something new. Do something you've never done before. Mount hunting was what I did at the end of last expansion. That was a whole lot of fun. I logged in every week for the reset and made sure I ran Onyxia and invisible and invincible. It is invisible because it's not in my bag.
If he's so invincible, then how come you can see him? Yeah,
I know, right? But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like, find something else in the game to do. Get some people you do some, run some old content. Get a guild event going on. Do a transmog competition with your guild, or it's just silly, goofy stuff like that. Stay in the game. It's a lot of fun, but you've got to find something new to do.
Sure.
They're 100% right. If you're just raiding and you're done with your progression, there is nothing to do for rating. So do something else.
So there's a couple of other things that and this kind of goes into the next little bit of news as well. We also know that PvP Season 3, just for those guys out there saying, hey, I only really want to raid, blah, blah, blah. PvP Season 3 ends June 13th. And from our experience, when PvP seasons end, that kind of means stuff might happen around there.
Patches
might drop, like 725.
Or is it like a week after that usually, generally? About like the following week?
It's around there. I'll just say it's around there, and then we'll be right.
So late June.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing because, like, I mean, not to beat a dead horse or anything, but this whole like other content type scenario, I mean, just the reason people do what they do is because it's familiar for them, and they're good at it generally. Like they think they're a decent player at raiding or PvP or whatever it is. A knowledge. As your knowledge increases, your joy of that thing increases as well, and so the community is so robust currently. Like, I mean, you can YouTube anything, like search something, like there's guides for everything out there. I mean, I'm guilty of this too. Like, I'd love to start PvPing more and stuff. And I'm sure there's a million other people even within CTR that are just like, hey, yeah, it would be cool to do twos, or, I mean, twos don't exist, but threes or fives, or no, fives don't exist, right?
Wait,
which one nothing exists. The world doesn't exist. You're making it up.
Which one does? No, twos is still there, right?
Remember.
And three.
I think it's twos and threes. I don't think they do fives anymore.
Okay. But yeah, and so like there's resources out there, and it would just take you a little bit of time. And that's the other thing is it's only going to make you a better player too. Some of the best raiders I've ever raided with have been hardcore PvPers.
Awesome
like
PvP.
Their reaction time, all that kind of stuff. It's insane. And so if you're kind of bored with Nighthold right now, it's just the same old stuff. You want to, keep your game sharp. Yeah, go PvP. It would be sweet.
Or
do it.
You could do some reading. Because reading. Because World of Warcraft just posted up their raid review of Tomb of Sargeras over this last week, and just a few days ago. And so they talked about the different bosses, and they also did put some developer insights in on that. So Emerald Nightmare was green and red, right? I mean, those were like the big colors there.
Mm-hmm.
Nighthold was blue and kind of like a purpley, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like from all of these pictures that Tomb of Sargeras is that fell green, that bright green, and blue.
It looks amazing.
It's really
so
cool
in there.
I've always enjoyed that color combo. So, but it does seem like very thematic stuff. So it
is the Temple of Elune. So there's the blue, the moonlight,
and the fell would be the green. So that totally makes sense. 100%.
Yeah, it looks good. And jumping ahead a little bit, I'm more interested in what Argus is going to look like. Like there was I don't know
ahead.
I know,
but I'm just saying, ahead.
Well, I was just thinking. I'm sorry, just thinking about the different color schemes and how they're doing a really good job of keeping it kind of different and a lot of idea. Look at Helya. The Helya raid was very different looking. Everything's been really dark. This expansion, and there's a really cool video. If anybody, I definitely recommend these YouTubers, Taliesin and Evitel. So a couple of YouTubers from the UK that are just amazing. But they do a video talking about what Argus might look like and how it's going to be, how they think it's going to be like really pretty and bright, and just the fact that but this fell taint over it, like a weird, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
We saw the planet in that cinematic.
Right. There's the planet, but it's purple is the thing. Like it's not fell green. It's this like purpley, like,
well, and blown in half.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
So, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos about all the different previews for all these bosses and stuff like that. But, this preview combined with the previews of those different videos and stuff like that, it really does look like a fun raid. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and mixing stuff up.
And from a lore standpoint, like, this is a huge one. This is massive.
You're a big lore nerd, I know.
I love it. I love it so much.
And it sounds like Kill Jaden is the end boss on that.
Yep.
And it sounds like we'll be transported to where he is or something. It sounds like we're going to be transported by the end of this thing somewhere. I don't know exactly where, though. Do you guys know where? Is it going to be over by Argus? Is that how we're going to get there? Because we know we're going to get there eventually.
Well, I'm also stealing this from Taliesin and Evitel, but my thought is that I agree with their hypothesis. Why have we not gone to Argus before? Well, because it's on the literal other side of the universe. It took the Exodar hundreds of thousands of years or whatever to get to Draenor. You know what I mean? And then to Azeroth from Argus. So it's one of those ideas. It's just so far away. So what do we need? Some sort of new warp technology, warp ship or whatever. Like all of those Legion warp ships that are coming in. So I think that we're going to steal Kill Jaden's warp ship. And that's how we end it. And then that's how we get to Argus.
Aha.
That's my idea. But I don't know. It could be anything.
That sounds good.
It's not my idea.
I'll go with that.
The idea I stole from YouTubers.
That sounds like a great theory.
I like it. It makes sense to me.
Spoilers, all of that stuff was totally true. All that
I don't
stuff
think this is going to end well, though.
Does it ever end well?
Well, I mean, we kind of been cruising along. Like, we haven't had really any deaths outside of like cinematics and RP kind of stuff. But from Emerald Nightmare, Trial of Valor, and now Nighthold, like, we've kind of just been crushing it, really.
Sure.
Like, so I don't know who's gonna eat it though. Like, I don't know, maybe Velen goes down. Who knows?
I was going to say, I know this is way off, but who's the last boss in Argus? Who are we killing?
Oh, the last boss in Argus.
Because I think it's going to be Sargeras controlling one of our heroes. One of our a big idea out there is Khadgar, maybe, that Sargeras has been controlling.
I think
Khadgar,
a lot of people would go, you know what, Khadgar needs to go because I am sick of that dude. He has really been a major part of the last two expansions.
Oh yeah.
He,
and he's doing all this stuff. He's not helping us fight the Legion, but he's telling us what to do to get us into a whole lot of trouble.
You go over there and get that guy.
Hey, I'll be right
back here.
You guys leave Khadgar alone. He was there. He was arcane missiling it up in that fight.
Yeah.
Come on.
We can destroy him.
But notice how he was standing behind everybody else. Notice how he was
standing behind there, wanding the boss down.
That's what he was doing.
Just like Garrosh going in on Archimon. Garrosh going in and just bro storming the whole time. Like, your DPS is going to be shit if you do that. Come on, man.
Boy.
Sorry, I said it bad.
That's right.
So
I don't, getting back on track a little bit. Now, is there any one particular boss encounter, what have you, that you guys are particularly looking at where you're going, this could be really fun, interesting?
The real ones or the imaginary ones?
No, the real ones coming up for Tomb. Is there anything here that you really are like, oh man, this could be really cool?
I mean, of course, like Kill Jaden, that's just going to be awesome. Like, he's been around forever. He's been trying to show up for a long time, so that's just going to be a extremely epic fight. And
we just
Fallen Avatar.
Yeah,
Fallen Avatar is going to be pretty sweet, just because that's the whole man, her name just left me. What?
Agewood.
Agewood.
Yeah, Agewood. Like, I mean, she destroyed him and then locked him away, and so it's going to be pretty cool to see, like, you know, have a crack at it as well. I mean, she soloed him, so I mean, it's kind of wussy of us to 10 to 30 man him, but
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the Archmage now. I got this.
But as far as like the random fight I'm excited for, it's like a model we haven't seen in a while since Black Temple, I think. But the Desolate Host.
Mhm.
What was that like multi-faced thing in Black Temple? I can't remember its name. You guys remember?
Well, that was
Anyways,
not really my time. So that's a little bit
I'll
before
find
my
it.
time.
But anyways, but there
I
was
can't
this.
remember. Well, there was
there was
Blast
this-
Furnace.
No, Black Temple. We're going ages ago.
Yeah.
No,
Anyways,
I
but
know,
there was
but
this
that's-
like there's this floating head that would like turn and stuff. And I don't know why the Desolate Host reminds me so much of that, but it's just this weird thing. And so I'm excited to see how that turns out, and it'll be an
See,
interesting fight.
I was thinking it might be more like Blast Furnace, but I don't know. I'm crazy. That was a fun fight. P.S. I like that one. Fun encounter.
Anyways, so those
That's
are the
good.
3 for me anyways.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to go on here, but as far as I agree with Tattva, at least Kill Jaden's the one I'm most looking forward to, because I think that WoW's really good at doing really good final boss fights. And even though this isn't the final dungeon of the expansion, I mean, Kill Jaden, I'm really hoping that it's going to be a good fight.
Right.
I'm sure it will be.
Right.
Oh, Sin in chat. Reliquary of Souls. That's what the one was in Black Temple. That was
Yep,
a cool
yep.
fight.
Yep. And then Uplink says that Bolvar will be the last Legion boss. It'll be Bolvar.
Bolvar.
Mr. Four Dragon.
That's
The
right.
Lich King.
That's him. That's him.
Mm.
So there. That's what he says.
I'm hoping we awaken the Titan Azeroth to help us fight whoever it is. at
Yeah,
the end.
that's how WoW ends. Azeroth wakes up and then just kind of like shakes everyone off, and we all go floating out into space, and it's over.
We're-
And
Oh, and then the
everybody's-
universe of StarCraft
everybody's gone.
starts. Yes.
The
At
universe. Oh my God.
the same time.
You guys
Everything.
stole my idea, by the way. I heard the show when I wasn't on it. I said that like years ago, so don't even whatever.
Okay. All right.
There
Whatever
you
you got
go.
to tell yourself, Shark. Whatever
Get
you
off
got to
it.
tell yourself.
That's right.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the VOD and I'm gonna post it.
That's right. So here's something a little bit weird for you guys for the next little story here. There may be a Warcraft mobile game coming.
I know it's called Hearthstone.
No, it's not called Hearthstone. It's called I don't know, whatever it is. A Warcraft type game that is not Hearthstone. It's coming to mobile.
I know it's called Do Your Class Order Halls on your phone.
That might be it. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Well,
They already
that
have
that
one,
exists.
Pat.
But
Yeah.
there have been job postings. There have been other little hints and things kind of out there for a while. And in this report on PvP Live, it has surmised that that there may actually be a mobile project in the works for like a World of Warcraft type of thing. And this could be the new thing that all the guys who have disappeared from World of Warcraft and are now huddling on this new project that they are doing. So it's kind of cool.
Called Titan Mini.
Titan Mini.
Titan Mini.
Titan your
That's what it
phone.
Yeah. Tighten your cell phone plan.
Yes, that's right.
Tighten your belt strap.
So, fellas, if it's not Hearthstone and if it's not doing your
Yeah.
order haul,
Mhm.
then what type of game would you like to see if this were true?
Pet battles.
Pet battles only?
Not only, but that's always what has made the most sense for me for going and Warcraft going mobile is doing mobile pet battles. Ever since they announced it before Hearthstone came out, I remember thinking way before I was even on the show, I was like, well, they just did it's going to be pet battles. Like they need to do, this needs to be the mobile game. Like they need to make a mobile version of that.
Sure.
So that would be cool, but I think that's too obvious and too easy for them to do.
How about this? Pet collecting via something like Pokemon.
Right. That's what I'm
Pokemon
talking
mobile.
about. Like a
So-
Pokemon style or
So,
Pokemon
but you
Go.
can do, but you could do, yeah, Pokemon Go. So you can collect pets.
Warcraft Go?
So it'd be
my
Warcraft
God.
Pet Go or something like that. And so you can collect pets on the run and then also battle them either in game or out in the open. I think that
That's
would be
kinda
hilarious.
I would lose all my money though. I'd have to break up with my girlfriend because she'd spend thousands of dollars on that.
I think that would be absolutely hilarious if
That'd
they
be
did
fun.
something like that.
Yeah,
That
it
would be
makes
great.
a lot of sense.
What do you think,
actually.
Tattva?
I like that idea. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Warcraft Go would be sweet.
Warcraft Go.
Like when you first asked the question before you gave your answer, Pat, I was thinking like almost like a Final Fantasy version of WoW. But I mean that's
Ooh.
pet battles, basically. That's like the battling system.
Yeah.
In my not the way that the last one went. That one's more action RPG, but like that old like turn-based adventure game. But that's perfect for Warcraft Go. So
Sure.
I was kind of along the same lines, but it wasn't as fleshed out as yours was.
I just thought of it when Shark was talking. I was like going, oh man, yeah, you're right. Pokemon Go would be great for Warcraft. I think that would be awesome. And then
I mean that would be a brilliant way to get people into pet battles.
Yeah.
It really would.
yeah, it would
I
be
think so.
actually,
And you
it
could
would
get-
be the way to get people into pet battles that aren't necessarily into pet battles, because then
In game.
it's that
Sorry, go
it's
ahead.
that effective toilet time, dude. I tell you.
Oh yeah.
Got
I
nothing
don't
else
know
to do.
how many.
Got
I don't
nothing
know
else to
how
do, you're
many
fine.
My bathroom is infested with Zubat. By the way, they're all over the place in there. Just to let you know. Just FYI. I feel like everybody's bathroom is kind of like that. But no, I've got one more. This is my last. This is one more idea. I don't think this is what it is, but it's what they need to have.
Okay.
It's like a pedometer. And if you get to a certain, like, if you get a certain amount, like it'll give you gold in the game. So to make fatties like me want to go outside every once in a while. So like if you go out and you run a 5K or something, they'll be like, okay, here's 5K gold for your efforts. And you're like, yay!
Well, I mean
Right.
that was I mean like just as far as like this idea, like in getting out and walking and stuff. I mean that was like the cool thing about Pokemon Go. Like I even played that game and like I mean I'm 35, so I'm way too old to even I missed the Pokemon boat by the Pokemans. I missed it.
Barely.
I don't know,
I'm
but it's like there. I know people older than you that play the Pokemons. So
Well, no, I did. I played
an
Pokemon
RPG.
Go
No,
like
they play-
crazy. Like
yeah, they play Go.
old games.
yeah, we went crazy. But I mean, that was like the cool thing, like going out into the world or whatever. And it was
Yeah.
just weird
Fine.
seeing so many people in these weird random spots. Like that was like a very cool thing about it. And so like if this got created in down that kind of line, even if there was almost like another option where like you could group with people near you and go on a little like your own little dungeon.
Oh
Like
wow.
group up and then you like walk together and
That'd be
you
great.
fight bosses and stuff like that. Like that'd be pretty sweet because I'm pretty sure that the company that developed the Pokemon Go game, they had a real world RPG like that where you'd like you had a 5-man group and you'd go walk around and defeat bosses and stuff. That was their original IP. Like it didn't get very much traction, but they basically fleshed out this entire system that Pokemon was like, oh, hey guys, you're going to make it into this game now. Thank you very much. And then they
Right.
did, and it just was huge. But yeah, if they like kind of mixed them both where, yeah, pet battles would be cool and like going around collecting things and stuff. But
Yep.
like if you were able to like get into these like places where it gathers all these people like nearby parks or whatever, but then you got the option of, hey, you have this many people near you, flag yourself if you want to join a group and go explore a dungeon. It like paths you out and makes you walk through this like certain like weird area and you battle your way through and fight a final boss and get some loot. That'd be pretty sweet. It would be pretty cool.
yeah.
It makes me think. I think that if they're thinking the way that Blizzard usually thinks ahead of these sorts of things, and so okay, we've got something awesome like Pokemon Go that got some traction and is kind of up and down, but I can see the brains turning in those devs' heads, and being like, okay, this worked for this, but this didn't work, and this didn't work, and how can we make this better? I think an IRL Warcraft adventure makes the most sense to me. Something where you can either pet battle or you can make yourself your hero, you know what I mean? And go out and you can find gear in the real world by walking some, places or whatever and leveling up, and then you can PvP or you can find PV. I think.
Wow.
That's
deep,
what I
dude.
would do.
You're
that's
going
what
deep.
I would do.
Deep.
I would do the real world of Warcraft is what I would do. I think that sounds like a really cool idea.
Called LARPing.
From the chat room.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
From the chat room, it's just Candy Crush with WoW skins.
Candy Crush
with
WoW. Oh yeah, they did buy.
Now in Fell Green. Look at that. So, but I mean, with a company like
Dream Green.
Well, with a company like King alongside you now, they've got the resources to do it. So, good luck to those guys. All right. The last stories that I have for you all kind of revolve around the same thing. It's people being bored in WoW and trying to figure out how to do things that are different. And first of all,
that other 75% of the content, these guys.
Or something like that. Because Mione, who has soloed everything ever, like when it's current content, Mione soloed Heroic Chromatic Anomaly, and for that, that's awesome. It was on Heroic, so no joke, and it was just a Demon Hunter, and that's it. Just as Demon Hunter. And it was geared out, no doubt. I think it was eye level 918 or something like that. But still, I mean, that's all decked out, ready to go. So, and it took a while. But congratulations on that. The other one is the Super Hole-in-One Challenge. And have you guys seen this? Tattva, what is the Super Hole-in-One Challenge?
People are trying to jump off like a high point in Gatherin and land in the sewer. And so it's just basically turning yourself into a golf ball and trying to make it in there. It was Warcraft that tweeted that out, right?
Yeah, so Warcraft actually said, is this how you do it? And they proceeded to hit the very edge of the well that takes you down into the sewer.
It was a Reddit thread that people were talking about it or whatever, and Warcraft got a hold of it, and they tweeted themselves, or whoever, a murky Murloc trying to do it. It was fun.
Exactly. So, and I know that people are now like, oh, this is something that I have to do now. This is absolutely something I have to do. And so, now it's come up to, hey, if you really want some new content in WoW, there's this new thing called the Super Hole-in-One Challenge. So please feel free to do that, but you have to video it. You have to record it somehow and then post it when you finally get it. So there. So that's the second guys in WoW are bored. The third one is that there was somebody on Reddit who leveled to 110 solely through, and I think my Concred has just gone across the country to Shark.
I just got it.
Somebody on Reddit posted that they went to 110. They leveled all the way up 1 to 110 only through pet battles.
That's ridiculous.
Yep, that's the thing.
Well, there's that one person that leveled up through herbing. Like that's even more ridiculous, probably.
Well, yeah, but I mean that was Double Agent. He was going as a panda that hadn't claimed his side yet.
Exactly.
Right.
And so and he's gone all the way up to he started at 90 and then he's done every expansion since.
Yeah, I'm sure he's maxed now. Yeah.
Like I understand the whole like being able to say you did something.
Right.
Like, hey, I totally just did this. Super awesome.
Right.
But like
I did a thing.
Oh, that's
when he did it herbing like not barely getting any XP for it at the same time.
These people are just into pain. Like that's the end of it, right? They just like the pain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
they're all bots.
A few years ago, people went through the Iron Man challenge and people still do this actually, where they will go through in only gray gear, only junk gear, or I guess they could be white or gray, or severely broken. And like if you die, that's it. You're playing hardcore. So if you die, you're out. And I did that. a couple of times on a couple of different characters, and I think I made it
Did
to
you make it?
No, I think I made it to level 12 on some class I don't play very much. And then I made it to level 30 on a hunter, and then my pet died. And I went with a very hardcore rules that you can't even, res a pet.
Revive your pet.
Yeah, you can't revive your pet. So then it became much more difficult, and I think I gave up. I was just like,
it'd be interesting to do like an Iron Man raid challenge where, you probably wouldn't dare go past normal.
Right.
But your raid team, a player dies, it's like, okay, go level again.
It would be interesting to do to try to do like almost like the naked raid stuff that people do right now. Do the naked raid like at level, or like one expansion ahead, so it's a little bit tougher anyway.
You guys,
I don't know.
You guys are nuts.
No, this is, but this is the time. This is the time when people think about, okay, how else can I play this game? Because I really like this game. How else can I play it? So
yeah.
So there. All right, but it's time to move on to a different game, and we're gonna switch it up to Overwatch.
Gotta love that.
Sure. So it looks like Overwatch is gearing up for something, right, Shark?
Sure.
Overwatch
is a game that people play.
Boy.
No, I read a little bit about this. Yeah, they're. Sorry, I haven't. I need to play more Overwatch. I've been so busy with other stuff as well. But they have. They've been putting out these messages.
Mm-hmm.
Messages to different folks. Like instant messages from phones and things like that, with some possible hints of maybe a new hero. The titles of these messages, things like "Gorillas Confined to Quarters," just all sorts of different little clues and hints that we might be able to figure out who our next new hero is. The way that they like to tease before they release something.
Yes.
Well, it's all based off of the Horizon Lunar Colony, which is where Winston was raised.
Winston's from, yeah.
Yeah, with his little surrogate father and stuff, and the glasses and all that. Like, everyone felt the feels on that cinematic or whatever. But yeah, basically in the Overwatch universe, there is a colony on the moon, and it's where they perform experiments, and they've been experimenting with gene therapy on animals, mainly gorillas, whatever. And that's why Winston is so smart and all that kind of stuff. He grew up. And he's actually helped this colony. And then that's what the messages are all about. Some things start going wrong with the other gorillas. And even Winston is part of the messages and stuff. He's talking through these things, and he's just like, we might want to stop the therapy for a second until we figure out what's going on. And, everyone gets all the gorillas get locked up. And apparently one of them's smaller. So I don't know if it's going to be a primate, but... Right. The guy's name's the thing's name is Hammond, and is apparently small. So it would be interesting if there's like a little chimp version of Winston, like a super smart little crazy monkey that is like bad mode or whatever.
Sure.
But basically the messages are the lunar colony things start to go awry, and they can't find Hammond. And Winston is asking for help because oxygen is leaving the base.
That's right. And it seems like, okay, so the things that we know about Hammond, because I think that Hammond is going to be the one that's coming to Overwatch. I think everybody kind of agrees with that. He's a smaller test subject. Might not be a monkey. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking...
A salamander.
No. I'm thinking a raccoon.
Oh, stop.
And his name is Rocket. No.
Rocket.
And he will have rockets that he will fire. That's what... That was the funny thing that I thought of. I haven't thought about anything seriously.
That sounds like a funny thing. Thanks, Pat.
That'd be great. I would love to see a raccoon.
Yeah.
Come to a cyborg raccoon, of course.
Sin in the chat room is Doomfist. Doomfist.
Doomfist? No, sure. I don't. I think they're pushing that out even further.
Every new hero is going to be Doomfist. I think that they're going to make some sort of expansion thing at some point, like a real expansion deal, and Doomfist will be the theme of that, whatever new expansion idea.
Right.
Is when they're going to introduce Doomfist. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be this idea. Something else was missing from that lunar base, and it's Winston's little buddy Hammond.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yep. It's
a dinosaur.
It's a raccoon.
Or dinosaur. I like the salamander idea.
Squirrel.
Sure.
Squirrel.
In other Overwatch news, it looks like there were some complaints about legendary skins and not being able to get them all, or Tattva, what was going on with this little story here?
Well, I mean, just the big thing is like with every new event, like they are so short, and some of them are more short than others or whatever, but they offer all this new cool stuff, like so many legendary skins. You know, that's mainly what people are going for, are the skins.
Oh,
but,
sure.
You know, sprays, tints, whatever. You know, there's all this stuff that they offer, and then especially on like a shorter holiday, like this last one for the anniversary, it didn't last as long as some of the others.
Yeah.
It's just like, how are we going to get them all? Like, and so I don't know, the completionist in people are, you know, of course people have their eyes on the ones, you know, the champions or the heroes they play a lot.
Yep.
You know, and so I don't know, it's a rough call, because especially if they're exclusive to that event and it only lasts a few days. It's rough. It
definitely is tough, and it's kind of one of those things. What can Blizzard do to help that? And a couple of things that were suggested was either make it so you can't get repeating loot items, which I would really like, although that does kind of shoot themselves in the foot with that. The other idea thrown out there was to offer more gold for repeats. So, because I think a legendary skin is 200 gold, it's something along those lines, and instead for like an event legendary skin, it might be kind of more in line with it being, because it's expensive when I think they're like 3,000, right, for the legendary skins.
Yeah,
and so like I mean, so if you up the amount of gold that you get back, if you have a repeat, then that's probably a good thing.
And I'm not sure if this is the same. I know in Heroes and in Hearthstone, basically when you get a repeat of something, it's worth a quarter of what it is to buy it. Is that the same for Overwatch?
It's I think it's
something
I know
like that.
I think skins are 200 for one that's normally 1,000, but for the event, it's still 200 for a repeat of an anniversary event legendary,
right?
And that's kind of
the anniversary. It makes it almost like a golden card or something.
That was kind of the
Hearthstone.
That was kind of the gripe too, is that, you know, hey, these skins are
that makes sense.
3,000. We should be getting more money.
The other thing that I think that would help them with that would be, rather than, you know, altering the prices or anything like that, just make people aware of having some sort of return to these things. I think it's important that they're exclusive and you can only get them during certain times, but be able to go back and have some sort of, you know, legacy sale or something where they will drop in boxes again for a weekend or for a week, or you can save up your gold, and during one of those legacy sales, you can get that exclusive skin, you know, the Halloween skin or something from 2016 or something like that. Because I think they have a great point that if you can only get it for this very short amount of time, it's just, you know,
I mean,
not good.
Could they do something like a drop down or something, like where when you go into that loot, the opening box page or whatever, if there's like a little drop down off to the side, like say you wanted to farm the anniversary skins, and as long as you participated in that event, like you can set it to that loot. So like once it goes back to normal, like if you wanted to keep going with that event and just farm those skins, like those are the ones that you're going to get drops for, or even previous previous events and stuff. Like if you got the choice to continue to farm if you wanted to, or just go back to normal or whatever.
I don't know. Like it being exclusive. Like, okay, the Halloween skins you can only get during Halloween, but every Halloween you can get all of the Halloween skins. You know what I mean? Like there's a chance to go back and have something.
So if they make new ones, which they probably will.
That's the thing is like every event they're going to be making
every time they've
things,
got I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's some way that they can revisit the skins, but I do like anymore that I have, and it makes me feel like the Corehound mount, for example.
True.
No one else can get that mount ever again if they didn't do that. The anniversary LFR. So I don't know.
Right.
It's kind of cool. It's nice to be exclusive. So I think that's important. But
that's something that's so RNG though. It's not like you're doing something to earn this.
Right.
Well, maybe if they implemented that where there was like specific skins, like if you completed something during this event. You get to choose. You will get to choose one of the legendary skins. You'll just get to pick one. If you complete this during this event, something that's attainable. It could be difficult, but just basically guaranteeing that
either
you can get one legendary skin without the RNG side of it.
Difficult or grindy or something like that, but you can get a skin that is exclusive. No one will ever see it again, but you're guaranteed to get something. I think that's the best idea I've heard so far.
There you go.
I like it.
All right.
Listen up, Blizz.
Hey, yeah, listen up, Blizz, because I know that you're giving away more loot, like in Heroes of the Storm.
Let's roll.
Yes. So Heroes of the Storm. Also, Overwatch is 1. Heroes of the Storm is turning 2. Yay! Congratulations, guys. Wait, there we go. There it is.
My baby's growing up.
And they're giving away a bunches of loots, aren't they, Sharku?
They sure are giving away a whole bunch of loots. You can get daily quests going on right now.
Yep.
You play one game versus AI quick match, unranked, ranked, and you'll get a common loot chest per day. So guaranteed loot chest per day, which isn't that hard to get. PS a common loot chest drop if you're just doing quick match and you're only playing whatever character you have that's ready, the closest to leveling up, right? You usually don't have to play like 2 or 3 games for them to get it. But anyway, but yeah, just playing one game, you get that. And then there are events quests where you can play 3 games during the anniversary event and get the portrait, a spray, and a banner, the anniversary banner for that. But getting back in. This is just another part of HOTS 2.0 that is saving the game for me, and I think a lot of people.
It's all about the loot, man.
All about the loot, loot.
It is.
More opportunities for more stuff. I've always wanted skins in that game, but I cannot pour money into it. Mm-hmm. I can't. And that was the only way to be able to get skins in the past.
Sure.
I was able to buy my heroes with gold, and I appreciated that, and so I was able to keep playing and keep getting new stuff. But I always wanted new skins or master skins that I couldn't afford because I was spending all my gold on new heroes.
Sure.
So this new system is great. They're putting in a lot of incentives to keep playing. They're doing these sorts of events where you're getting even more loot. The Heroes team is knocking it out of the park right now as far as that sort of stuff is going. Now fix ranked mode. And then just whatever.
Oh, ranked fine, Shark.
No, I hate it. It's fine. The worst. It's the worst. Overtuned. Fix it.
But it was actually kind of surprising for me, but one of my favorite parts about HOTS and like the new loot system is the voice packs. Like I love the different announcer packs. Yeah. They're so hilarious. Like,
once again, we need Gillian Dread voice pack. We need a Gillian Dread voice pack.
We need it.
But yeah, like I was playing a match right before this show started, and my internet connection, I don't know what happened. Maybe my roommates got home, they all got online, or I don't know what happened, but it was like one frame every 5 seconds or so. I felt so bad. I was just like, sorry guys, can't do this. And just like I'm just like firing off my Syndragosa ult on Arthas, just randomly praying, but no,
firing
it
at your own core.
Yeah, basically.
I like it.
Very sad.
I like it.
But yeah, I already got all those awards: the portrait, the banner, and the spray.
Nice. And the actual, and they're going to be doing a live stream too in June. So Be looking for that. I mean, June's right around the corner, but I think it's like June 2nd, I want to say. Anyway, be looking for that as well. Also, I don't know if this is part of the celebration or whatever, but if you've ever wanted to play the HOTS soundtrack, it's now available. It was released today on iTunes and all your different streaming things, so you can get it through Spotify or whatever, and go do that. So I think it's 15 songs. There's quite a few songs, and that's always a good thing. I always like it when they release the music for whatever. I know that I bought the Overwatch soundtrack. I was like, yep, it's already a done deal. And I think it's going to be the same thing for this. So
when are we going to get
it?
Lucio's new single? I want someone to actually be Lucio.
I want
to go to a Lucio concert.
I want to hear it on the radio. That's what I want. What's a radio?
There we go.
No, what's a radio station?
Do you mean a podcast?
Yeah, on a podcast. It would be on a podcast.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
It would be on a podcast. All right. Hey, real quick for Diablo.
Which doctor? This doctor.
The news is about as quick as that. Beta stress test is now through June 2nd. If you are a part of the beta, please log in and go nuts. Go crazy.
Stress it out.
That's right. And we are going to skip eSports because we are about way over time. So
you are
actually Shark, if you could give us highlights.
Sure, super quick. The Open Division, the Crucible happened this past weekend. EU got 2 new teams in their Open Division, dropping 2 of the teams that were out there. I cannot remember the names of them right now. Go look it up. But some flip-flopping happening there. So 2 new teams able to compete in the HGC for round part 2. And all the NA teams stayed the same. The Crucible teams weren't able to win a spot. But there is a spot open in the HGC.
Right.
And it's because the Pro Team B Step, which was formed by a lot of the former members of Cloud9, has dissolved. They are done.
They said no more.
All of the members of that team are officially free agents. And this is last week's news. A similar thing happened with Gale Force, and Gale Force is going to the big tournament, the Western Clash, and so lots of shakeup in the NA HOTS world as far as rosters and things going. All these teams are going to play. All these players are going to find teams. All of them are going to maintain, or most of them at least.
Do we know why they broke up at all?
They didn't really talk about it. The Zuna had a post, and I have a link here. But he posted on Twitter about basically it seemed to me that it was money, that B-Step couldn't no longer support them and that they deserve more support. Yep. And so he decided as a manager to dissolve the team, I'm sure with the consent of the other players.
Sure.
Because they would be able to have better opportunities on other teams. And that was, I think, probably what it came down to.
Okay.
Which is really sad because these guys, a few of them at least, were the first world champions of Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
And they have not been performing like the first world champions. Well, it's because they lost Fan, but whatever. No, I don't know. There's lots of reasons, but yeah.
Sure.
So I can't wait to see them find a new place.
Right
King
on.
Caffeine is maybe the best HOTS player in the country. World, maybe. He's really great. So all those guys, best of luck. So that's your esports news for at least the hot stuff.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
Sounds good. I'm going to play this stuff right there. And this is your chance, fellas, to tell the world what's going on with you, how they can get in touch with you, and all that kind of groovy stuff. Tattva, anything big going on? What's happening with you?
Nothing too much. Just kind of finishing off Nighthold. And so, yeah, the Twitter's always the same. LOS_gaming.
Yep.
YouTube's our LOS Gaming Show.
Yep.
But yeah, just kind of chilling out right now.
Way to sell it.
Might be I might do more art. I'm thinking about doing more art. It's been a while since I've done some painting. So.
Oh, really?
Such a hippie, dude.
Nice.
I love you so much. You're like, yeah, man, I'm chilling. You know what? I'm thinking about doing some more art.
He's the Tommy Chong of the group.
Go out and catch some waves, dude.
Right.
Oh, I miss Hawaii.
I know, right?
Thanks,
Oh,
Shark.
Oh,
Thanks, Shark.
Well, you have to go visit.
Hey,
Me and you can teach me how to surf in California this year for BlizzCon.
Shark, what's going on with you, man? You got the Gathering Storm tournament that's coming up in next weekend.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be. This weekend. It's
this weekend. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm all screwed up.
Sunday the 4th. Sunday.
Right.
At 5 p.m. Pay attention to the Gathering Storm Twitter, which is at GS Tournament. And you'll get some information on streams and stuff like that that's going to be happening. You have negative 33 minutes to sign up. I haven't closed it yet, so if you're listening live right now and you haven't signed up yet, you have
People are going to sign up all sorts of weird teams right now.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's going to be happening.
Cool.
Tweet my Twitter is Sharku_CTR. Check that out. Same thing with Twitch. When I start streaming again, maybe never, but maybe soon.
No, I really doubt it. All right. And if you want to reach me, I'm at Pat Crane on social medias. That's with a K. All right. Here we go. I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to play this. And if you would like to talk to the show, please feel free. Please feel free. I can't talk. I think it's the cold. That's what I'm blaming it on. Make sure to join in on all the conversations we're having anytime. You can email us, convertraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You know what it is? It's having to breathe in and then spew all this stuff out again. That's the tough part about this gig right now. You can join this Bazooba Guabo Nation by heading over to convertraid.com, where we have show downloads, Discord infos, videos, audios, and so much more. It's all over at convertraid.com. And also all the guild stuff. Don't forget all the streams going on for the Convert to Raid party, the CTR party.
Party!
That's right. And we're also on Apple Podcasts now, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all that kind of jazz. Convert to Raid is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends on the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. That is going to be it for the show. Thank you, guys, for joining. Thank you,
Pat.
Thank you, Twitch chat, for joining us as well. And thank you, guys. No matter where you are, thank you so much for listening. And if you want to go support the CTR party, make sure to go over to converttoraid.com/party. Okay.
Party.
There we go. And that's going to be it for us. So we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Party.
Party.